Hey y'all, Toad here. Yep, out in the backyard with another project. Remember that antenna? Yeah, I got it cranked up a little bit there. I was messing with it. That's an 11 meter PDL2, CB if you will, beam antenna up there. And we're going to be doing some additions here. As some of you following my channel know that high frequency radio is coming. And as some of my friends and I are finding out, the antenna thing is one of the more interesting challenges. And I'll show you the antenna after a bit. But the first thing I gotta do is work on this. And what I've already done is replace this bracket. I don't know how well you can see it there. It's hard to tell in the camera, but that bracket was funky. And while it held okay, it needed work. So I went ahead and replaced that. It holds it to the side of the house. And I still have a little bit of work to do on the base. This has a hinged base. So if I want to service whatever is up on top, I can go ahead and remove that bracket just with a couple of half-inch bolts. And then you see it's triangular. Well, on this side down here, but down at the bottom, you can't see it in the grass, there's a big hinge on the concrete base. So I can take this thing and lean it right over, and it'll actually sit right there on the fence, or more likely I set up a large step ladder, 12-foot step ladder, right about in that location there. And then I can work on the antenna. But the next thing I have to do is run a couple guy wires. And let me get the first antenna I'm going to put up to start doing this. Let me get it out and show it to you, and it'll begin to explain what's going on. Okay, what we have here is the part that I made. It's just a piece of I think that's 3/16 steel, and when I put it up, you'll see why that angle's there. But it's just cut in an L and welded. This is bent rather in L shape, and then I cut a piece off to weld here and weld up here. Okay, my welding's not the greatest in the world, but believe me, it's strong. And then I drilled 2 holes through the bottom on either side of this piece, and then drilled a hole straight down through it, which gave me a slot to put the cable in. And then the cable goes up and rides in a notch. Put right, kind of hard to do when I'm holding the camera, a notch right there. And when it's all up and tightened up, you'll see how that stands off. So well, let's get up on the roof. Yeah, there's the bracket put up. I don't know how well you can see how the cable goes over to the tower there, but the important part was to make sure that it wasn't touching the metal roof. Didn't want to have any problems with that overhang right there. So, alright, well, here we are up on the roof. I don't know if I can keep the sun off of there, but that's the tree I'm going to be going to over there. And just had to put this guy wire cable on here, and it's gonna run over to that corner of the house. And it's just as a I guess just kind of a counterpoise, I guess. That way it's gonna be pulling the entire tower that way. And while I very much trust my engineering down here, a little backup never hurts. Okie dokie. The saga of the antenna. A little out of breath because I just climbed down off the tower. Alright, well what we got at this end is a little homemade cleat. And then that 550 cord, I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up. But you can see it wiggling in there. I can't tell through the viewfinder. It goes up into that tree and then comes back down again. And this is what I had a little fun with. You know, when I took my lunch break, I was talking to a couple of friends on Skype, and when I told them what I was gonna do, of course they're, oh, you gotta film it, gotta film it. Well, I'm alone, so I tried. I couldn't. But I'll tell you what I did. This is a crossbow that we use in the medieval game that I play. And this is the kind we used to shoot each other with. And over here is a somewhat modified bolt for that crossbow. And it's really little more than a golf tube, which is a thin plastic tubing, and a tennis ball, some duct tape, and some, I think that was like 80-pound test I had floating around. So I used the crossbow, and up in a tree it went. Now I was aiming, see if I can do this in the viewfinder. I was actually aiming to put it right, let's see, yeah, in that area. I ended up getting it right here. So I lost about, probably 3 feet of height there, but believe me, trying to get a line up there and get it back down without getting tangled in all of these branches was a pain right in the behind. Okay, I got bugged because I didn't videotape it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna give you an idea of what it looked like when I did it, because you'll see in a minute why there's no way I could have done this with just 2 hands. There's the crossbow with the bolt loaded in it, and you can see the fishing line hanging off. This was actually on the other side. There you go. And then it went to this fishing pole that of course had the bail released, and if I can try and keep the sun, and up in the tree it went. So let's just give this a whirl, see if we can show you what it looked like. Right about there. And not too bad. And it came down the other side. That's what it looked like. Now, on the other side, I climbed up, and I don't know if you can see it, but right where the tower, right at the top of the larger part, the base, where the part that goes up begins, you can see there's a little block and tackle, block if you will, with paracord going down, and one end is tied to the antenna. And let me back up and see if I can show you what's going on. It's real sunshiny, so it's kind of hard to see, but there on the ground is the Alpha Delta Double E. This is the antenna we're going to be hoisting between the tower, and it comes down like this, kind of draped over the trailer, and it's up in the tree where all that sun is. So now basically all I have to do is hoist a little bit on each side until it's in the air, and then raise up the tower until it's level. So let me get started. Well, alrighty then. As you can see, if the camera's picking it up, there's the line. It's not very visible. Then you can start to see the antenna and where it attaches to the tower. Get a kind of a side view of it here. The ends of this antenna, if you can see them, there's where the copper colored ball is there, if you will. You zoom in on it. There it is right there. Now, is that too close to the antenna? I don't know. It's about 8-9 feet away. And the way I've done this, of course, I can get it closer to the tree. The ball on this side, the coil, if you will, is probably about 15 or 16 feet away. But I don't know which is going to be a worse obstruction, this bunch of trees or the tower and the metal roof. I really don't know. Kind of stuck it in the middle. We'll see what happens. And the feed line comes down, and right now it's just on this hook. And we'll get it in the house and see what it sounds like. But that's one way to put up a antenna. Yeah, I'm tired. All right, be back.